Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video might be a little controversial, but I'm just going to share my views. I just recently was in Switzerland, and the title is going to be why I wasn't that impressed. Firstly, let's go to the good point. Switzerland is a beautiful country. The Alps are magnificent, the scenery is magnificent. They do have some wonderful shopping. Of course, there's lots of things to shop like chocolates and watches, high-end goods, beautiful scenery, good food. There's a lot there. So I'm not saying it's not a place that you should visit. Having said that, I think I had very high expectations, and I'll tell you some of the things that why I made this video saying, hey, this is my feeling of why I wasn't as excited now that I've been back going to go to Switzerland again. The first thing I think I have to say is that it was good that I went to Switzerland, and my preconceived ideas was Switzerland is a very kind of international global city, because you hear about Swiss banking and that it is very efficient, and I would assume people are very polite, multicultural, all that. I also heard that Swiss wines were very unique, Swiss food, I've heard about that. And so I had all these good impressions of the Switzerland, and the reason I went was I wanted to have these magnificent train rides. I had 4 in mind, and I'll do that, kind of go through them in another video. So let's go with the internationalist of nature of Switzerland. You hear about Swiss banking, and I can just go through my experience. In my travels, which is very limited in Switzerland, what I found was that the Swiss really are comprised or have a lot of association, and tourism is very dependent on the neighboring countries, which are Germany, Italy, and France. And there are portions of Switzerland that speak mainly French, another portion that speaks German, a small bit that speaks a kind of an offshoot of Italian. And what I found is, in my travels, that I found that those people were treated, I think, better, and I think that's part of that is because of language. It's more familiar, and that then the next step would be maybe Americans, who we saw a lot of Americans in Geneva. And again, it could be a language barrier. What I was explained by someone was that even though some people look like they're fluent in English, it is taxing for them because that's not their mother tongue. And so even though they seem fluent, it is still difficult for them. There were obviously exceptions. We had some great experiences at some higher end hotels and higher end restaurants. But in general, I felt like this was almost how things were 15 years ago in France. I was surprised by that, and I can only attribute to that is Switzerland, now I've learned, is a much more closed community than I've thought. Of course, at the higher end, they have these international banking relationships. But I think with normal day life, I think they are fairly closed in their circle. I think they travel within Europe quite a bit, but I'm not sure many travel outside of those certain countries. I was also a little disappointed with the service standard and also the efficiency. I had been told that the Swiss are, very timely. You talk about Swiss clocks and things like that. In my experience, they were more timely than the Italian trains, but they were still late by a couple of minutes. And even with service standards, I found that within the higher end, Michelin star restaurants and higher end 4-star, 5-star hotels, you're right, the service was very good. But as you withered down, it was really kind of just like anywhere else in the world. They had good servers and bad servers. I found that their service standard was colder than I would find in North America, and more European in standard. And I did feel that there was again, the feeling that I would have, let's say 15 years ago in France, which has, in my opinion, changed night and day. Nowadays, when I go to France, I feel very comfortable and very welcome, just like any other tourist in the world and just like any other tourist from Italy or Germany. I think there's even, this idea that the French used to, you have to speak French to them. I think it's just like any other country. They know that there's a lot of tourism. I will say in Switzerland, the English is very well accepted everywhere. Go to Swiss food and Swiss wines, and another disappointment. I had known that Swiss wines are not exported. 98% are drank within Switzerland, another 2% are exported to Germany. And in general, I would say they are unique, but unique for the sake of uniqueness. In general, I found the wines expensive, and I find my understanding is that a lot of grape varietals are unique or indigenous to Switzerland, partially because it's a pride thing and it's a national pride thing that people support these grapes. They probably could be grown other places in the world, but because of some of the attributes of the grape varietals, they're actually not that popular. And so again, when going to Switzerland, it's good to try Swiss wines, but would I actually go and buy a ton of this wine to bring back? Not really. It's not that type of unique. And so in general, the wines are expensive and not to the North American palate, in my opinion. Likewise with food, I found that I was very adamant to eat only Swiss food, even though Switzerland has a variety of great restaurants. I wanted to try Swiss food, which meant Alpine food, which means cured meats, cheeses, fondue, and also raclette, things like that. And my experience was really the food was okay, again, unique. So for instance, the cheeses, they have unique cheeses in Switzerland, but are they better than French cheeses? It's hard to say whether something's better or not, but likewise meats, they have cured meats. I thought they were very good, but also Italy has cured meats. And with fondue, I found it's more a thing for tourists to do. If you ask regular Swiss people, they don't go out to restaurants. They actually just have it at home, and they don't have it every night. They have it once in a while, maybe once a month or every 2 months. It's not a thing that they do all the time. So it's more a touristy type thing. And again, I have a video on that where I found it, it's good, but I had it, a couple of times, and that's probably too much. You only need to have it once in Switzerland to try it out. It's a good thing, but it's not an everyday staple for Swiss people. So again, if I had to go to Switzerland again, I would probably be a little bit more open to just drinking whatever was good instead of drinking Swiss wines, and likewise eating at whatever restaurants were good instead of focusing only on Swiss restaurants. Not to say I didn't enjoy my trip in Switzerland. That's not to say that I had my experiences, but I try to balance this and with other videos that I see, because every video that I see from YouTubers goes with all the positive elements, and while there's positive elements, in my experience, there were some disappointments because I had seen videos that were so positive. So I'm just trying to bring this into a more realistic light. I'm just telling you my experience. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, safe travels.